Welcome to our OHM BOCES staff recognition and retirement reception. We are working in the virtual world as a result of the COVID-19 pandemic, and we certainly wish that everyone is safe and healthy and has an opportunity to celebrate this wonderful moment for all of our staff and those being recognized today. Throughout this afternoon's presentation, we will be honoring various employees. You will see a PowerPoint presentation that has pictures and recognizes employees. And we have wonderful people here with us to speak on their behalf today also. So without further ado, I would like to turn this meeting over to our wonderful Board of Education President, Elaine Falvo, who herself has had 33 years of continuous service to our organization and currently is our board president. So Elaine.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Dr. Kilburn, and good afternoon, everyone. It's such a privilege to be able to welcome you to this celebration today. With me via Zoom are several members of the BOCES Board of Education, and I would like to just acknowledge them by naming them off in the district that they're from. We have Steve Boucher, who is from Remsen. Michelle Anderson is from Oriskany. Doreen Corbin, Brookfield. Yvonne Irving, Utica. John Griffin, Sequoia. Charlene Hartman, Westmoreland. Mike Moore from Clinton. Gary Nelson comes to us from Holland Canton. Dr. Gary Porcelli, New York Mills. John Salerno from Whitesboro, and Russ Stewart from Waterville. So I hope that most of you are here joining us, and we'll be happy to see this celebration that we're planning. Before we begin, I would like to take a moment or two and talk a little bit about the significance of this occasion. This celebration to honor our retirees and our long-time employees began in 1993. Since then, it's become a highlight of our academic year. Each year we would gather together and we would enjoy refreshments and chatter and talk and leave with a floral accent for our gardens and some goodies prepared by our culinary students. It was always a very nice affair. We would share experiences from the past and talk about the adventures that might come in the future. And with this year's presentation, we realized that nothing can take the place of an in-person experience. But in spite of that, your Board of Education and Administration really wanted to do something to find a way to honor our retirees and great employees. So we created this special moment for you, we hope, and we're going to be doing this virtually. So here we are at a virtual setting, apart and yet together. And if we focus a moment on the BOCES and the services that it provides and the work that we do, we see that in many ways, our BOCES operates in the fashion every day, apart and yet together. Through the cooperative efforts of the 12 districts, the dozens of programs and the itinerant services, we are able to enrich and support the education and the life experiences of all those that we serve. And we do it very, very well. That's because of each of you who uphold our values, demonstrate our vision, and deliver a standard of excellence to all. It is a hope that the significance of what you do will not be hampered by the format of this program. The challenges of this environment are unique, but that which you all do every day is unique. Your efforts, your abilities, and your expertise, both individually and as a unit and together, is something to be admired by many. Please know that we sincerely congratulate you for your efforts and give you a heartfelt thanks for all that you have done and we know will continue to do for the BOCES. The first group that we're going to recognize today is our retirees. We hope that each of you, the retirees, have received the clock that we have gifted to you for this occasion. We know that it will tick off many, many minutes and hours of good health and happiness for many years to come. So this year we have 18 retirees, and they have served our children for 408 and a half years. As in the past, our program directors and our supervisors will acknowledge their accomplishments. And we're going to begin that with Charlie Cowan, who is going to recognize our first retiree.
Very good. Thank you, Mrs. Falvo. And thank you for everybody that is participating. I get the privilege of first recognizing Tom Pfister, a retiree from the Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES. Tom Pfister retired from OHM BOCES on December 31, 2019, after 30 years of service. He first came to the BOCES in 1989 as a shared director of food service programs for the Clinton and the Oriskany school districts. And from that time forward, Tom led the development of the food service program, which today provides management and day-to-day services for 15 school districts in the Mohawk Valley for both the OHM BOCES as well as the Herkimer BOCES, and also for the BOCES campus. The program has continued to flourish despite many regulatory challenges over the years, and in no small part thanks to the leadership of Tom Pfister. Tom, on behalf of the school districts and the Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES, we'd like to thank you for your 30 years of service to the BOCES and the districts, and congratulate you on your retirement. Thank you so much, Tom Pfister.
Okay, now we're going to move on. I guess, Kate Dorr, you have a few that you're going to recognize.
Yes, thank you. This is Kate Dorr. I'm the new school food service director, took over for Tom. So I'm very honored to be able to recognize our retirees. Linda Camp retired from the OHM BOCES on December 31st after 22 years of service. Linda was a kitchen manager in the BOCES Middle Settlement Road kitchen, where she worked for the last 14 years. Prior to that, Linda worked in various other kitchens as a food service helper. Linda has a strong history of being an extremely hard worker. She was instrumental in helping the BOCES kitchen increase the number of meals served each day since the campus has opened. Her dedication to the students and the program will be missed. She's also trained her replacement very well. She is wonderful to work with, and we will really miss her. But thank you, Linda, for your 22 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. Our next retiree, Kathy Dupree, retired from BOCES on September 20th, 2019, after 28 years of service. Kathy was an account clerk in our food service office, where she's worked for the duration of her career. Kathy was in the food service program from the start, acting as Tom's go-to support system during the infancy ages of the program. Together, they worked to take the food service COSER from 4 districts to 15. She's hardworking, dependable, and could almost always be found counting money or reviewing a free and reduced meal application. She was very dedicated to Tom and to our program, and is very much missed. Thank you, Kathy, for your 28 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. Linda Fish retired on June 1st, 2019, after almost 16 years of service. She was a food service helper at Sequoia Elementary School, where she worked for the last 15 years. Prior to that, she had worked at the Sequoia High School kitchen. Linda was a pleasure to work with, very caring, loved the kids, a hard worker, and an overall wonderful person. Thank you, Linda, for your 16 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. Bonnie Hazard is retiring from our program on June 30th after 17 years of service. She's currently a food service helper at the Mount Markham Elementary School kitchen, where she has worked for the last 32 years. That includes as a district employee and then as a BOCES employee. Bonnie has been dedicated and hardworking, and after so many years of service, she truly deserves a relaxing and fulfilling retirement. Thank you, Bonnie, for your 17, or really 32 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. Diane McNamara is retiring from our BOCES food service program on June 30th after 24 years of service. Diane has been the kitchen manager at Clinton High School for the last 20 years. While at Clinton High, she worked her way through the ranks, starting as a dishwasher in 1983. Diane has an incredible work ethic, is dependable, punctual, and well-respected within our program. She has overcome many school lunch-related challenges during her tenure, most recently shifting on a dime to feed grab-and-go meals to students due to the COVID-19 school closures. She leaves a legacy of quality food and will be a tough act to follow. Thank you, Diane, for your 24+ years of service, and congratulations on your retirement.
Next, we'll welcome Michelle Hall.
Hello, everyone. I'm fortunate enough to be able to speak about Maureen Bushinger. Maureen's retiring from the Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES in June of 2020 after 12 years of service. Maureen is currently a teaching assistant in the auto body classroom. She's an asset to the classroom. She offers much needed advice at times, reinforcing that quality work ethic in the students that she teaches. The CTE students at OHM are very fortunate because Maureen is at the front door greeting the students as they enter the building. Occasionally, she's been known to chase down a car or two, but they get to see her smiling face and receive a warm greeting from her every day. This has become a part of their morning routine. Students look for her if she's not present. All the students in her class greet her with a solid "Hi, Miss B" as they enter that front door. Maureen is generous, optimistic, and a bright spot really in everyone's day. I always look forward to bus duty with her in the AM. She's been known to analyze a great deal from door D at that entrance. You can always count on her daily weather report. I actually stopped watching the news because Maureen is much more thorough than the weather forecast. We've watched the leaves change, the snowfall, wind gusts, sunny days. Maureen always has a comment regardless of the weather. The students she has worked with are fortunate because Miss B has the ability to make them feel important. She shares her words of wisdom, stories about her family, work at the farm. They're always engaging. I just want to thank Maureen for impacting so many children and colleagues with your smile and your generous heart. Take this time to yourself, enjoy your family, plant a few extra flowers, and of course, golf whenever you can. Thank you for blessing OHM BOCES with your presence, and happy retirement.
Now we'll have Ellen Mahana introduce those that she is going to speak to us about. There she is.
Hello, everyone. I'm very happy to be with you. I'm very happy to represent the Bridges program. We have a great team, so I'm happy to recognize our retirees. I'm going to start with Phyllis DiGiorgio. Phyllis has retired from Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES. She retired on August 31st, 2019, after 29.3 years. Phyllis was a teaching assistant in the adjustment program for many, many years. In addition, Phyllis worked in the 1211 Mild program for our summer school program, and she always connected with every child. Miss D always did the extra little things to make summer school a fun activity for everyone. Due to Phyllis's strong instructional skills and sense of humor, she made such great connections with all of our students within the Bridges program. She has a unique style and ability to connect with kids and make learning fun. She accepted each student with open arms, and Phyllis worked endlessly to help them attain a high school diploma. Thank you, Phyllis DiGiorgio, for your 29.3 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. David Failing is retiring from Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES on June 30th, 2020, after 15.3 years of service. David is currently a teaching assistant in the Bridges program, working as a one-to-one TA with our students enrolled in the CTE conservation program. David has supported our students within this role for several years, providing Bridges students access to the general education program. Prior to that, David worked in the 1211 program located at Sequoia and at the center. David always has the gift to develop and maintain strong working relationships with his students. He presents with patience and a positive mental attitude on a daily basis. He is a strong team player who always worked collaboratively with all of the staff, administration, and parents. It has been heartwarming to see David working alongside of the students, giving them confidence to drive large machines and operate motorized tools. David's enthusiasm combined with his patience will be greatly missed. Thank you, David, for your 15.3 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. Karen Oenick is retiring on June 30th, 2020, after 21 years of service. Karen is currently a teaching assistant in the 12-on-1 program located at Sequoia Valley High School, where she has worked the last 3 years. Prior to that, Karen worked in the 12-on-1 moderate program and the 812 program located at the center for 10 years. Karen moved to the center after working 8 years in the adjustment program located at Westmoreland School District. I'd like to give you a picture of Karen. She has a heart of gold, would do absolutely anything for you, goes above and beyond with everything she does. Karen has a great sense of humor, has a unique style and ability to connect with all kids, and Karen truly loves what she does as a teaching assistant, working directly with students with special needs. Thank you, Karen, for your 21 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. Mary Jane Panic is retiring from Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES on June 30th, 2020, after 15.9 years of service. Mary Jane is currently a secretary in the Bridges program, where she has worked for the last 9.9 years. Prior to that, Mary Jane worked in the Middle Settlement Academy program as a secretary for 6 years. Mary Jane came to OHM BOCES with extensive skills and abilities from her prior experiences of executive secretary positions at Utica Corp and Kelsey Hayes Company. Mary Jane is a very skilled, attention to detail person. She is resourceful and 100% dependable as a team player. Mary Jane has excellent work ethic and professional skills working with students, staff, administrators, and community members. Mary Jane takes pride in being thorough, dependable, and efficient. She maintains focus on the task at hand, a very rare quality. Mary Jane develops strong working relationships with her daily connections and will be missed by many. Thank you, Mary Jane, for your 15.9 years of dedicated service, and congratulations on your retirement. Jeannie Wilkerson is retiring from Oneida BOCES on June 30th, 2020, after 31 years of service. Jeannie is currently a teaching assistant in the 812 program located at the center, where she has worked for the last 18 years. Prior to that, Jeannie worked in the Pinefield Day Treatment Program for 6 years and the Adjustment Program for 7 years. Jeannie would proudly share her knowledge with new staff. Jeannie is a person who is caring, creative, and passionate about working with students. She definitely promotes and advocates for children's abilities without a thought of their disability. Jeannie is a mover and a shaker who doesn't allow the students to take the easy way out. She encourages our team and the students to celebrate all success to honor the hard work they have done. Jeannie's understanding of mental illness and the effects on education can never be replicated. Her strong experience and her connections with students will be deeply missed. Thank you, Jeannie, for 31 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement.
Now we ask Margarita Mariera to introduce Nancy Osant.
Hi, everyone. It is my pleasure to talk to you about Nancy Osant. Nancy Osant retired from Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES on December 31st, 2019, after over 29 years of service. Nancy worked as a microfilm operator in our records retention department, where she worked for all 29 years. Nancy was instrumental in developing the Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES Records Management Service, a service in which all 12 of our component districts participate. Nancy was dedicated to creating a successful service, which she expanded beyond her components to outside districts and other BOCES as well. She was a one-woman department and worked diligently to provide services to all of the districts that she served. Nancy was vital to the success of our records management program, and she laid the groundwork for her successor to continue her outstanding work. Nancy is certainly missed, but she's definitely earned her retirement. Thank you, Nancy Assant, for your 29 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement.
Our next presenter will be Jamie Satera.
Hello, everyone. I'm happy to introduce Barbara Bowen and tell you a little bit about her unconventional process to coming to BOCES. Barb began working at OHM BOCES in September of 1994 and was assigned to Brookfield and Waterville Central School Districts. A graduate of Beaver River Central Schools in Beaver Falls, New York, Barb attended the University of Buffalo, where she obtained her Bachelor of Arts in Psychology. It was then on to University in Pennsylvania to complete her Master's in Science in Psychology, as well as her CAS. She then moved to Greeley, Colorado, and she attended the University of Northern Colorado, where she studied to become an educational specialist in school psychology. Her career took her to many different places, including working at Canisius College as a recruitment counselor, an admissions counselor, and the assistant director of summer sessions and program coordinator of continuing studies. From there, she worked in contract sales for Honeywell in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. And in 1986, she took a position at Carnegie Mellon as a space and facilities analyst. Then it was on to Laramie County School District No. 1 in Cheyenne, Wyoming, to do her internship in psychology. She was hired by that district, and a position that spanned over 3 years between her internship and working for the district. In 1992, she returned to the Mohawk Valley, taking a job at Herkimer County BOCES as a K-12 specialist in psychology. Barb then decided to come to OHM BOCES, where she has worked for over 25 years. Her first assignment in Brookfield and Waterville lasted until 2009, when her assignment changed and she took on Brookfield, Whitesboro, and the BOCES special education programs. In 2012, her assignment changed again, and she went to New York Mills, Brookfield, and the BOCES programs, where she has been assigned ever since. Always the team player, Barb took on a temporary assignment even at Hamilton Central Schools when they were unable to fill the position of a psychologist. She worked with them diligently to find a new psychologist while keeping the district in compliance. One of my favorite stories about Barb that she tells is of being a secretary to a school principal and how they encouraged her to get into the field of education. It was then that she made the decision to work in a school setting and always remembers that administrator with such fondness. I'm sure that Barb has had that same effect on some of the students she's interacted with over the years, because she approaches her job with such professionalism and empathy. Always in the front of her mind is how she could help children have the best educational experience possible. Always the sharp dresser, Barb always was up for a lively discussion about the world, current affairs, and the appropriate time to retire. She's been a mentor and a friend to many of the staff in the itinerant division, and it is with true sadness that we will be saying goodbye to her at the end of this school year. Good luck in all your future holds for you, Barb, and don't forget, psychologists never retire from the BOCES, they just work fewer hours.
Thank you. And now we'll hear from David Staten.
Thank you, President Falvo. So I have the honor of detailing Janet Jury, who has, as you see, worked for 26 and a half years at BOCES and in the educational field. And I have to break pattern here and give you a little poem. So here we go. Janet Jury, what's the hurry? Why do you have to retire? I've got 10 years. I want you here. What if I refuse to hire? Don't go away. I'll make you stay. I cannot let you go. I'll get Noel's cuffs and lock you up with the help from our SRO. Desperate times, Janet. I can't believe Janet's retiring. I think we all agree that we hate the way this sounds. The idea is so offensive that it is illegal to say the words Janet's retiring on BOCES grounds. Janet began her distinguished career in New York Mills as a business teacher. She also taught in Clinton and New Hartford, but BOCES called and knew how to reach her. Eventually, she was named full-time director of the Center State Teacher Center, where her influence was now widespread, and she also became a presenter. But this full-time gig was ended when those dang budget cuts came along, and I'm not too proud of a person to admit that I was wrong. because this reduction in funding meant Janet would now be forced to move into a CTE classroom teaching business technology. And to be honest, I didn't approve. How stupid do I look? I know, don't answer that. A year later, Janet became a teacher of our New Visions class, and her time and dedicated efforts, no one could help to surpass. She quickly assumed a position of prominence among our teaching staff. She's one of the best teachers I've ever seen, and I'd admit that hooked to a polygraph. A part of her instruction is in the rigorous New Visions courses. She teaches government and economics, and she's always digging for sources, which makes her lessons so engaging and her teaching style so stellar that the impact of her instruction would be visible even to Helen Keller. Janet has a great government lesson on teaching the Bill of Rights. I observed her instruction on this topic, and it really was quite a sight. But I wondered how she became so fluent on this topic that she could teach us all. Was it her in-depth preparedness or her own brushes with the law? We may never know. Janet teaches 21st century skills, and she doesn't do this just for enjoyment. These competencies are what will help her students succeed in college and employment. She directs them to take initiative and use communication skills. She challenges them with problem solving and with critical thinking skills. She teaches them to be professionals, and Janet's as professional as they come. Students who learn from Janet are bound for greatness as a rule of thumb. Janet's impact on students is so great that it's hard to conceive, and they continue to communicate with her for years after they leave. Frequently, she'll forward me a former student update that impresses. Yes, Janet is full of stories of her graduate successes. Seriously, her influence on students is so massive, you'd do well to be advised. When you get fries at a fast food joint, you order small, medium, large, or jury-sized. To demonstrate Janet's dedication, let me tell you this short story. One summer on a Saturday night, I went to feed the fish in our greenhouse laboratory. The rest of the world was doing what they do in the summer on a Saturday night, and Janet was in her classroom working to find another internship site. I kid you not, working with this woman is like taking a stroll through heaven. She's such a delight, works day and night. Heck, let's just say she's on 24/7. If you don't believe me, I'd be happy to give one more citation. Janet once sent me an email at 5 in the morning from Florida while on her vacation. Janet Jury is truly a class act in every sense of the word. And if this is the only part of my speech that you may have heard, well, first you need to pay attention. And second, we should praise her with acclaim, because Janet is the epitome of greatness. She inspires us all to elevate our game. Janet, I'm honored to have worked with you for these past 12 years, and I wish you all the very best in your most deserved retirement. Congratulations. I know detailed Diane went. So Diane was an employee in our our adult education division. So although technically she was under my supervision, I didn't work with her on a day-to-day basis. So I asked Natalie Zampano, the coordinator of our adult ed division, to write a few words about Diane. So Diane retired from OHM BOCES on June 30th, 2019 after 32 years of service. Diane was an account clerk typist in the adult education division, where she worked closely with the business office to ensure that the financial side to the department ran smoothly. This included completing payroll, ordering supplies for teachers, and preparing financial reports. Diane's ability to be a great problem solver and be detail-oriented was a wonderful asset to this position. Also, Diane worked very closely with her coworkers, instructors, and students to support adult ed programs. We all appreciated her warm personality and her willingness to pitch in whenever she was needed. Thank you, Diane, for your 32 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement.
Hi, now we'll hear from Mary Lourdes Tangora. Thanks.
Thank you, Mrs. Falvo, and good afternoon, everyone. I have the privilege of being able to speak on behalf of two amazing women this afternoon, and I'm going to start with Margaret Sunderland. Margaret Sunderland retired from Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES on February 29th, 2020, after 18 years and 6 months of service. Margaret was a social worker at Middle Settlement Academy and worked in the STEPS, alternative education, and itinerant services programs during her 18 years and 6 months at Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES. Margaret, to say you are missed is an understatement. It has been a pleasure to work with someone who is so passionate, caring, and professional at all times. It is clear that your dedication to the many students that you have worked with throughout the years has made a huge positive impact on their lives. You have been a caring and compassionate educator who has set an example for all of us to follow. Your guidance and encouragement have helped me and so many of your colleagues thrive in our challenging learning environment, and we have been fortunate to have your expertise to rely on. I wish you well, my friend, as you begin the next phase of your life. You will be missed, but never forgotten. Margaret, comments from your colleagues include the following: wishing you a happy retirement. Celebrate all the great work you have done through the years. I have enjoyed my time working with you, and you will be truly missed. Congratulations on a career dedicated to helping students and their families. I saw firsthand what Ms. Sunderland did for the 612 program. Incredible. She will be missed. Margaret Sunderland was an amazing school social worker with a very caring heart. She would go above and beyond to help her students. She understood who they were as individuals and used that to help make school a safe environment for them. My students could talk with Ms. Sunderland about anything that was on their minds and go to her for help. Margaret was supportive of me as a classroom teacher and would be my biggest cheerleader if I was having a rough day. I am glad to call her my friend. Mrs. Sunderland, thank you for all your help throughout the years. You will be missed. I have worked with Margaret since I started at MSA 3 years ago. She has been a guiding light and a friend. She always went above and beyond for me and put the students first. I am so grateful for her advice and her kindness. Margaret was a constant advocate for her students and always ready to assist her colleagues in making the school a better place for all. Margaret had a great relationship with the students. She was a constant source of support for students and staff. Margaret has been a great colleague and a friend. She has excellent clinical skills, always had insight into student need, as well as a good understanding of the needs and dynamics of the program. She has a good sense of humor, empathy, and compassion. She will be missed. Margaret truly felt for the underdog and was always rooting for each child. Her emotional sense guided her expertise and leadership, which in turn allowed her to see the potential in those that she worked with. My introduction to Margaret was at Lincoln Academy, and we began to bond through all of the activities that we planned together. Santa's visits, graduations, talent shows, water safari trips, just to name a few. I am fortunate to have worked with her and, more importantly, to call her my friend. She is already missed. Thank you, Margaret Sunderland, for your 18.6 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement. Joanne Chagall retired from Oneida-Herkimer-Madison BOCES on August 31st, 2019, after 14 years of service. Joanne was a teaching assistant at Middle Settlement Academy, where she worked in both the task and alternative education programs for the last 14 years. Joanne, we were so very fortunate to add you to our faculty 14 years ago. You have been a shining example of dedication, hard work, and professionalism. You have been wonderful to work with throughout the years. You continually shared creative ideas and suggestions that helped to improve our school community. You prove that it doesn't take a loud voice to accomplish big things. Our students benefited greatly from your kind and compassionate nature. We miss you and wish you the best in your retirement. Joanne, comments from your colleagues include the following: wishing you a happy retirement. Celebrate all of the great work you have done through the years. Joanne, you didn't let the grass grow under your feet. You led the way for personal growth for every student that you met. You are a generous soul. Congratulations. Ms. Chagall was a great colleague, always energetic and positive. We even had the opportunity to tutor a student together. She will be missed. Thank you for your help throughout the years. You will be missed. Happy retirement. Joanne was my right-hand lady. I missed her dearly this year, especially when we were planning different events for the Wellness Committee. She was always helpful and did so without question or hesitation. I miss her groovy personality. Joanne has a strong sense of integrity and compassion. She always put the students first and went above and beyond to help students to be successful. A parent recently told me that it was because of Joanne's work, support, and encouragement that her son was able to obtain the task credential. Joanne's even temperament and genuine caring helped to facilitate student success. Joanne prided herself on helping others. That was her golden rule. God only gave her 2 hands, but her heart and soul were worth 1,000 more. Her grooviness was catchy, and she inspired all to live in peace. Joanne was a kindred soul. I wish her happy trails ahead and send her good vibes. Thank you, Joanne Chagall, for your 14 years of service, and congratulations on your retirement.
This concludes the presentation of our retirees. And I must say that every year when I listen to the comments that are made by the supervisors, I am so impressed with the personal commitment that this organization has to its people and how well they know each other and the job that they do. It is no wonder that we are the best BOCES in New York State. So thank you all the presenters, thank you the retirees, and we'll move on to the people who have put in years of service. But before we do that, I would like us to do something together. I think that wherever you are, whoever you are with, let's have a virtual round of applause for all these people today. Okay, thank you. I hope it was loud and came out clear. Now I will read the names of those who have given 10 years of service. I'm going to do the best I can with the pronunciations. Michael Carney was a network administrator. Lori Davis, word processor. Stephen Davis, computer educator coordinator. Dana Gaska, teacher of foreign languages. Are we there? Rebecca Hartnett, teacher of English as a second language. Charlie Hoffmeister, teacher of food service, career and technical ed programs. Debbie Jeff, food service helper. Kimberly Jennings, occupational therapist. Susan Mojave, performing arts specialist. Karen Plato-Costante, yeah, I did it. Plato-Costante, regional certification officer. That's a big job for a person with a long name. Nicole Roberts, teacher of English as a second language. Andrew Rubino, school psychologist. Timothy Ryan, cleaner in operations and maintenance. Felicia Tellerico, a cleaner from operations and maintenance. And Scott Williams, a computer technical assistant from information technology. Those people have been with us for 10 years, and we really are thankful that they are part of our crew. Those who have been with us for 15 years are Tanya Aquaviva, teacher of speech and hearing, Lee Boyd, a teacher of social studies, Megan Carpenter, who was a teacher assistant, Melanie Chambrone, teacher of special ed, Alice Coleman, assistant cook, Sherry Collins, food service helper, Anna Egregius, teacher assistant, David Failing, teacher assistant, Marion Fawcett Davey, teacher assistant, Elizabeth Gainey, teacher of special education, Lisa Grenier, teacher assistant, Kelly High, food service helper, Laura Kane, teacher assistant, Jennifer Martin, teacher assistant, Jennifer Maynard, teacher of special education, John McGinley, network administrator, Tina McLean, teacher of special ed, Scott Morris, director of information and technology, Carol Orsino, senior clerk assistant, Mary Jane Panic, word processor, Lisa Griffo, coordinator of special education, Guy La Roth-Dernier, teacher of special education, Mary Lee Ross, teacher assistant, Judy Schultz, food service helper, Roxanne Testamark, teacher assistant, Martha Thompson, teacher assistant, Sarah Walker, CPSE coordinator, Paul Whitney, teacher assistant, and Hillary Williams, teacher of English in the Career and Tech program. Then we have some people who've been here for 20 years. We're really getting there. We're doing a good job, everybody. We have Jean Baker, who is a school social worker, Darlene Baumus, teacher of math, career, and technical ed programs, Ann Bowling, teacher of English, Lynn Burr, teacher assistant, Diana Cianfrocco, school social worker, Lisa Collins, teacher of special education, Anthony Kurtachi, teacher assistant, Veronica Evans, teacher assistant, Teresa Finnegan, teacher of special education, Kelly Flaherty, school social worker, Lisa Johnson, teacher assistant, Winifred Leaford Calcia, teacher of art, Catherine Marsh, food service helper, Karen Onek, teacher assistant, Mary Peters, assistant cook, Linda Tinker, food service helper, Michelle Weekly, teacher of cosmetology, and Carmen Wright, teacher assistant. 3 people have been with us for 25 years. They include Barbara Bowen, the school psychologist, Michael Moore, our board member from Clinton, and Roberta Sullivan, data processing clerk. And then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 people who have had 30 years with us. Terry Jones is a teacher assistant, Cynthia Marshall, an account clerk, Sue Party, occupational therapy assistant, Tom Pfister, school lunch director, Tom Rycraft, audio visual aid, Teresa Soren, teacher assistant, Teresa Van Hatton, senior office specialist, and Jeannie Wilkerson, teacher assistant. Those are our longtime employees. You've been with us many, many years, and we hope that you will be with us many, many more so that we can honor you at the time of your retirement.
Thank you, President
Did it come
Falvo.
through? Or-
It did. Thank you, President Falvo, for sharing the celebration for all of the employees who've been with us for so many years of service. It means so much to our organization that people are invested in our children and in what we do and all the ways that we support children both directly and indirectly. So to anyone who's being honored today, thank you again for your service to our organization and more importantly to the children that ultimately we all serve here in BOCES. Before we close today, I do want to thank all of the different departments that participated in the planning and coordination of this virtual ceremony, supporting our staff members who are reaching significant milestones, including years of service and retirement. And that would be our Human Resources Department, our School Communications Department, our Printing Services, and our Facilities and Transportation Departments for helping courier clocks and certificates to all of our honorees, along with our Information Technology Departments. Thank you for participating in our virtual recognition of our employees. Please continue to stay safe, and we look forward to seeing you in person. And to our retirees, I hope that you look forward to a wonderful future in celebration of all that you have accomplished. Thank you, everyone, for attending this evening.